Sean Diddy Combs found not guilty for sex trafficking, racketeering. After 7 weeks of rigorous trial, controversial music mogul Sean Diddy Combs has been found not guilty of charges of sex trafficking and racketeering. He has, however, been convicted of a U.S. federal prostitution felony on Wednesday. The jury found Combs guilty of 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution after a high-profile 7-week trial. Combs faces a maximum of 20 years in prison for transportation to engage in prostitution related to Cassandra Ventura and Jane'. The judge will later decide whether Combs, who is at present in a New York jail, will be released on bail. As the verdict was read out, Combs, 55, smiled and looked relieved. He shook hands with one of his lawyers and said thank you to members of the 8-man 4-woman jury as they left the courtroom. Judge Arun Subramanian also thanked the jury for their service before dismissing them. "You listened, you worked together, you were here every day, rain or shine," he said. "You did so with no reward, other than the reward that comes from answering the call of public service." 7 weeks of trial, 34 witnesses. On Wednesday, a jury of 12 New Yorkers found Combs guilty of the Mann Act of transporting his former girlfriends, Cassie Ventura and a woman who went by the name Jane, in the courtroom, but he was not found guilty of running a criminal enterprise and of sex trafficking. The federal court in Manhattan heard 34 witnesses about the case over a 7-week-long trial. The verdict, which saw the defense winning 3 acquittals, marked the end of a trial that had captured global attention and turned the court in Manhattan into a media circus. Sean Diddy Combs was arrested in September 2024 over charges of sex trafficking, racketeering, conspiracy, and transportation to engage in prostitution. The music mogul had pleaded not guilty to all the charges. Jury delivers mixed verdict. The 12-member jury gave a mixed verdict on the Diddy trial, declaring him guilty of only 2 of the 5 counts he was accused. The verdict was announced after 13 hours of deliberation over 3 days. The jury found Sean Diddy Combs not guilty of racketeering conspiracy, not guilty of the sex trafficking of ex-girlfriend Cassandra Ventura, not guilty of the sex trafficking of Jane, guilty of the transportation to engage in prostitution, related to Cassandra Ventura, guilty of the transportation to engage in prostitution related to Jane. The verdict came at the end of a trial in which prosecutors had accused Combs of being the boss of a decades-long criminal group who directed loyal employees and bodyguards to commit myriad offenses at his behest. The alleged crimes included forced labor, drug distribution, kidnapping, bribery, witness tampering and obstruction and arson.